Welcome to The Explainer. Today, I want you to imagine something with us, a library that exists completely outside of time, a kind of secret academy where the original secrets of creation are kept. And look, this isn't just about ancient history. We're going all the way back to the source itself. We're here to uncover a primordial text, a book that was lost before the world as we know it even began. So this single verse from Genesis, this is our key. And on the surface, it just sounds like a simple genealogy, right? But the Zohar, the foundational text of Jewish mysticism, it lets us in on a profound secret. That phrase, this is the book of the generations of Adam, well, it's not just a phrase. It refers to an actual, tangible book, a celestial text that was given to the very first human. And get this, it contained the schematics of reality, the secrets of every soul, and the blueprint of creation itself. So, how in the world do we begin to unpack a mystery this massive? Here's our roadmap for the journey. First up, we'll explore the cosmic library, where this book comes from. Then we'll dive into what we're calling Cosmic Engineering 101 to figure out its operating system. We'll meet its very first user, Adam, and trace the book's secret inheritance. Then we'll look at how to unlock its code using divine names. And finally, we'll discover what all of this means for the book of your life. Okay, so to begin, we have to understand that the Book of Adam isn't alone. It's actually the third in a whole hierarchy of cosmic texts. Think of it like a flow of divine information, going from the most concealed all the way down to the most revealed. We're basically stepping into the library of creation itself to see exactly where this incredible book fits on the shelf. You know, the Zohar structures this whole transmission of knowledge in a really fascinating way. Let's try to think about it in modern tech terms, because it actually helps a lot. So at the very top, you have the supernal book, the Sefer Ila'ah. This is like the root server. It's the ultimate, untouchable source of all potential, pure divine thought that we can't just log into. Then comes the middle book, Sefer Emsitzayata. This is the source code repository. It takes all that infinite potential and starts structuring it into the fundamental laws and archetypes of reality. And then finally, we get to our main focus, the Book of Adam, Sefer Toldot Adam. This is the human-readable API. It's the compiled, accessible version designed specifically for us, containing everything we need to navigate creation. To make these really complex ideas, truly accessible, we're going to tackle them from two different angles. For those who want the high-level, mystical physics, we'll call that cosmic engineering, the deep, intricate architecture of reality. And for everyone else, we can just think of it as the ultimate video game called reality, where the Book of Adam is that legendary lost strategy guide, the one with all the maps, the lore, and yeah, even the cheat codes to the whole game. Right. So, to understand the book, we first need to understand the system it actually runs on. This system is built from 10 divine attributes, or emanations, called the Sephirot. And these aren't just, abstract ideas. They are the literal circuitry of creation. They're the channels that divine energy flows through to take form. The whole process kicks off at the top with two really key Sephirot. First, you've got Chokmah, or wisdom. The Zohar describes this as a whisper, maybe a flash of insight, a single point of pure, raw potential. It's the primordial spark from which everything else is going to emerge. Then, right after, comes Bina, or understanding. So if Chokmah is the spark, Bina is this great expansive womb. It's often called the supernal mother that takes that initial spark and develops it, giving it depth and form and structure. This is literally where the source code of reality gets written, where the blueprint is drafted from that first divine thought. So, now that the blueprint is there, it needs to be powered, and it's powered by two fundamental opposing forces. On one side, you have chesed, which is kindness. This is the force of pure, unbounded expansion, and you can visualize it as brilliant white light. In our game analogy, this is the engine that's just generating infinite experience points and endless loot. But of course, reality needs structure, right? So this is balanced by its total opposite, gevura, or severity. This is the force of contraction, of limitation, visualized as an intense red light. It creates the rules, the challenges, and it makes your choices actually matter. Okay, so you have this radical expansion of chesed on one hand and the intense contraction of gevura on the other. What in the world holds them together? Well, that is the absolutely crucial role of Tiferet, which means beauty or harmony. Tiferet is the central processor of this whole sephirotic system. It perfectly blends the white light and the red light to create a life-giving green. This is the heart of the system, and, this is key, it's considered the realm of the written Torah. It is the very dimension where the wisdom of the Book of Adam, our human-readable API, is made accessible to us. And this brings us from the cosmic architecture to the human story. I mean, who was this whole system designed for? Who was the first user meant to log in and access this incredible database of cosmic secrets? Well, his name was Adam. And he wasn't just the first man. He was a being specifically designed to interface directly with this divine knowledge. The Zohar lays out this really dramatic journey for Adam and his cosmic strategy guide. So at creation, his wisdom was so vast it surpassed even the supernal angels. Then he's gifted the book directly by the angel Raziel, a text packed with 72 branches of supernal wisdom. But after the sin in the Garden of Eden, the Zohar says the book literally flew away from him. His access was cut off. In his grief, Adam repented, standing in the Gihon River for so long that his very skin was transformed. And seeing this, God sent the angel Raphael to return the book, making sure that this primordial wisdom would be passed down as humanity's great legacy. It is so hard to overstate the sheer scale of what this actually means. The Zohar is claiming that Adam's wisdom was greater than the angels. When the Bible says Adam named the animals, the mystical understanding isn't that he was just slapping labels on them. No, he was perceiving their core essence, their function in the cosmic system, their secret divine name. He had the user manual to all of reality, and he could read it fluently. So Adam gets the book back, but it wasn't just for him. This was the start of a secret inheritance. The book and all the primordial memory it contained was meant to be passed down through a very specific lineage of righteous souls who could protect and safeguard its immense power. And here we can actually see the chain of custody for the universe's strategy guide. Adam passed it to his son Seth. From Seth, it went to Enoch, and eventually it made its way to Abraham, the patriarch of the Israelite nation. But the chain doesn't stop there. The Zohar teaches that this primordial wisdom is the secret inheritance of the tzaddakim, the truly righteous in every single generation. Enoch is such a fascinating and crucial link in this chain. He wasn't just a keeper of the book, he totally mastered it. The Zohar explains that he delved so deeply into its secrets that he actually ascended beyond the physical world and was transformed into the celestial scribe, the great angel Metatron. In our video game analogy, Enoch is that legendary player who didn't just beat the game, he got such a high score that the developers basically hired him and turned him into a superpowered NPC, a guide for all future players who now holds all the keys to the supernal treasures. And this brings us to the tzaddik, the righteous one. This isn't just some historical lineage, it's a living potential. The tzaddik is called Yesod Olam, the foundation of the world. The Zohar quotes this verse from Proverbs, "The righteous one runs into the tower of strength and is safe." And then it reveals that this tower of strength is the Book of Adam. The tzaddikim are the elite players in every generation, who through their purity and their good deeds can access this tower, log into the system, and make its primordial wisdom manifest right here in our world. So the big question is, how does one even read this book? It's not written in any normal language. The Zohar explains that its wisdom is encoded. The code itself is made of divine names and the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. And these aren't just symbols for sounds. They are the fundamental building blocks of reality, the vibrational source code that actually structures the entire universe. Okay, let's just look at the most sacred divine name, the Tetragrammaton, Yud, He, Vav, He. This isn't just a name, it's a formula. Each letter maps directly to a key stage in the creative process we just talked about. The Yod is that tiny point, representing Kokma, the initial spark. The first He is the expansive womb of Bina. The Vav represents Tiferet and all the Sephirot around it, the central processor. And that final He, that represents Malchut, or kingdom, the final manifested reality where we all live. The name itself is the blueprint for creation. And the code gets even more complex. The Zohar says the book given to Adam had 72 branches of wisdom. Now that number has immense mystical power. In Kabbalah, there are 72 powerful three-letter combinations that are derived from 3 specific verses in the book of Exodus. These are considered the 72 names of God. They're like specific command lines in the source code of reality, and each one controls a different aspect of creation. This was the core programming language Adam was given. And this is where it gets incredibly personal. The Zohar teaches that the very structure of holy language is mirrored in the structure of the human soul. Think about it. At creation, the 22 Hebrew letters, the consonants, they were all formed. These are the raw building blocks. But when the soul, the neshama, was breathed into Adam, that's when the vowel points, the nekudot, were established.
The vowels are what give life and breath and sound to the letters, just like the soul gives life to the body. Our very being is built from the exact same code as the Torah and the universe.
So this whole ancient, cosmic story, it isn't really just about the past. It's not about Adam or Enoch. The entire point of this inheritance, this incredible chain of wisdom, is that the book is meant to be reclaimed. It's about you, right here, right now. You see, we're not separate from this cosmic blueprint. We are walking, talking reflections of it. We're created in the divine image, which means our spiritual structure mirrors the 10 Sephirot. The Zohar teaches that the divine name itself is encoded within our soul. So studying Torah isn't just learning something new, it's an act of remembering what your soul already knows. And righteous actions, the mitzvot, that's the practical application. Those are the achievements in the game of life that align our personal story with the divine original, writing new, worthy chapters in that timeless book of Adam. And so we arrive at the question this entire journey has really been leading to. If the book of Adam truly contains the blueprint of every generation, past, present, and future, and if your soul is a part of that blueprint, then your life is your chapter. The pen is in your hand. What are you going to write? The book of Adam is a living memory, a divine blueprint encoded into the fabric of creation and the soul of humanity, waiting to be reclaimed. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.